How's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with my Friday questions and answers, episode 25. And as always, before you watch the video, leave a question in the comment section below so it can be featured in next week's episode. It can be about anything, personal, sports, anything, and I'll answer it for you next Friday, which will be episode 26. And before I get started, you guys, if you have not watched my Nashville Sunday commitment video, go watch it. I will leave the link to it below. It's got like 4,000 views already. A lot of people liked it. It got posted on a lot of big time websites. That's why I got so many views, and hopefully it can grow and get a lot bigger because it's one of my favorite videos that I've made so far, and I think it's pretty funny, and a lot of people think it's funny too. So if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. And you can also go on my channel. It's my featured video on my channel, so go watch it. And the audio, admittedly, is kind of bad, but that's not the main point of the video. So just go watch it, please. And I really appreciate it. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. So let's get started. I got a lot of questions this week, I believe. So, Leo Smith, do you think Teddy Bridgewater will have a chance at winning the Heisman? Yes, definitely. The dude is a amazing quarterback, and I really think he has a chance to be the best quarterback going into the draft next year, because this guy is very underrated, and I ain't even gonna lie when I say he really reminds me of Tom Brady. He really does. I know it's a huge comparison to a guy that plays for Louisville, but he's that good, trust me. And if he wins the Heisman next year, will not be one bit surprised. Louisville will get an early preseason, a high preseason ranking, probably definitely top 10, and if they go undefeated and everybody else has one loss, Louisville has the chance to make the national championship because they're going to be that good next year. CH Extreme 96 says, how good do you think Oregon will be next year, and also do you think Johnny Manziel will live up to the high expectations next year? I think Oregon will be a 10-win team. I don't think they win the Pac-12. I think Chip Kelly won't be as big as a loss as many people believe, because he will be pretty big loss, but I don't think they'll drop off that much because they're still getting good recruits. Their offensive coordinator, who knows the whole entire system, is their head coach, and I thought that was the biggest move. If I was an Oregon fan, or just looking the outside looking in, so to keep Oregon going in the direction they're going, they needed the same type of offense, the same style, and what better than to promote within their offensive coordinator. So I thought that was a really big hire. But anyways, I think they'll be a 10, maybe 11-win team next year. I don't think they win the Pac-12, but I could be wrong. We'll see. I'll think about that a little bit more closer to the season. I'll be making all my preview videos and look more into it. But about the Johnny Manziel question, yeah, I do think he does. He is that good. He's a very good quarterback, as we all know. If there was anything that concerned you about him getting distracted about things, that was definitely pre-Cotton Bowl, and you saw him going out and doing stuff, putting those pictures on Twitter, everybody hating on him, all the Heisman stuff he went through, and to play as well as he did in the Cotton Bowl, that only shows you he can handle whatever distractions and play just as good or even better than he would before. And the only possible drop-off I could see from Johnny Manziel is his offensive line. I don't believe will be as good as it was. Obviously Luke Jock was gone, and he has a few receivers that will be gone as well that really helped him out last year. But he's Johnny Manziel. He's very good, so I don't expect that big. He's going to get better, but maybe because of his surroundings, his stats might have a little drop-off, but I still think he's going to be an amazing quarterback, and he might leave for the NFL next year. Hopefully he doesn't. Well, as an Alabama fan, I hope he does, but as a college football fan, I really hope he doesn't leave after next year. Mega UGA Dogs ask, wait, never mind, that's not a question. Oh, somebody asked me, what position do you play in football? And he said, thank you. He said he can't play sports due to a spinal fracture. Sports. Okay, never mind. Thank you for answering that guy's question. But yeah, I can't play football or sports because I fractured my spine my freshman year, or somewhere around there. And Mega UGA Dogs also ask, is it possible for Johnny Manziel to win the Heisman again in his remaining years at Texas A&M? Is it fair that Alabama is going to have a cakewalk to the SEC National Championship game, assuming they beat Texas A&M? I guess I just answered the Johnny Manziel thing. Yes, I do believe he has a chance at winning the Heisman, and I think he could possibly. It's just the way that he plays, the stats that he puts up. I really think there's a good chance. especially if he stays for 2 more years. And is it fair that Alabama's going to have a cakewalk the SEC/national championship game? And you really can't say that, man, because the SEC West is one of the toughest divisions in all of sports, not just college football, of all of sports. And that's only going to differ. Only get stronger in years to come with the way they're recruiting. And you got to play everybody in the West every year, so it's going to be tough playing the West teams. Ole Miss could be one of the best teams at SEC next year. I think I have the number 3 in the West, but they're a really good school. And LSU, even though they lose a lot of players, they're always gonna be good. Auburn's gonna be improved. Ole Miss, like I said, is gonna be improved. Mississippi State probably improved. So, admittedly, it's one of the easiest schedules in SEC. But it's fair because they're not the only school that's had that type of schedule. You see Georgia in years past, they've had schedules like that where they didn't have to play the top tier teams from the other division in the SEC. So, it's just our year that it's our turn to get the easiest schedule, because there's always that one school that won't play the top tier teams on the other side of the division. And it's not that big of a deal because we play really tough teams in our own division, and we go out of conference to play a very good team in Virginia Tech. And and then you got the SEC championship game. I think if we beat Texas A&M, we will make it to the SEC championship game. So I do see what you're saying, but I don't think it's an easy schedule by any means. And just because Alabama's that good of a team, people think we're not playing LSU, A&M, Florida every single week that we have an easy schedule. It'll probably definitely be a top 30, maybe even top 20 schedule. So there you go for that. That is, yeah, okay. Star 11079 asks, says you have some boss vids, and thanks. What will Oregon do without Chip Kelly, and will the Eagles get better? I think I kind of already answered that too. I think Oregon will be just fine. Like I said, their offensive coordinator was the right move to hire him as head coach, because he just keeps the solid offense they've had going alive, and I think they'll be just fine. And will the Eagles get better? I think so. Chip Kelly's offense, I don't believe it won't look near the same as it did at Oregon. But he's such a great and intelligent offensive mind that with the personnel that they have within Philadelphia, especially if they keep Michael Vick, he'll be able to use some of the principles from Oregon, and I think they'll be successful if they can have a good defense. Their defense definitely has to improve, and they hired Alabama's offensive line coach. That kind of made me mad, but you gotta do what you gotta do in the NFL, and I think they will get better. They'll be at least a 6-7 win team next year, maybe even 8. I'm not gonna go as far as saying they're gonna make the playoffs their first year, but I definitely think they'll be better because Chip Kelly is one of the great offensive minds in all of football. Falcons 462 asks, who do you think is going to next year's Super Bowl? Oh man, that's a tough question, and my opinion might change. Because it's so early, you don't know who's gonna get signed, who's gonna be drafted. So this is a really hard question to answer, but if I had to go out on a limb, say the Seahawks out of the NFC and the Patriots out of the AFC. I think the Patriots are just a few defensive players away from being unbeatable. That's how I believe. And the Seahawks are just going to get better as long as they get Russell Wilson and add on to that defense. So let's go. My opinion definitely will change seeing after the draft and all the free agent signings and everything. But as of right now, I'm going to go that way. Well, it's a Big Show 97 asks, who on Alabama will have the best chance at the Heisman next year? Obviously, with Alabama's offense. Oh, man. I'm going to do it. AJ McCarron, I believe he'll be in the pre-Heisman talk. 2 national championships in a row and 3rd straight on the horizon. He's a very, very good quarterback, very underrated. Even though people had him, I forget what he came in the Heisman. I know he was in the top 10 voting for the Heisman. So, he's coming back, played very well against Notre Dame, and he has a heck of a chance at the Heisman. I really think he'll end up going to New York next year. But aside from AJ, that does answer your question, AJ. But I was gonna say before I started talking on AJ, was that our running backs always gonna have somewhat of a talk at the Heisman. With the way our running back situation is, we have so many talented running backs. I don't think one running back uh, anytime soon will win the Heisman because they split too many carries, and I don't think any one running back will have enough to have the stats to go to New York. So definitely, I'll go with AJ McCarron on that question. Sorry it took so long to answer that question. Mega UJ Dogs ask another question: who is the better QB, Aaron Murray or AJ McCarron? Please note that McCarron was given an excellent offensive line, while Murray had an O-line that was slightly above average. I choose Murray hands down, but interested in your opinion as well. I mean, this is hard to answer because you're a Georgia fan, I'm an Alabama fan, so some part of me wants to say AJ, and I know some part of you wants to say Murray. But I mean, both quarterbacks are really great. It's hard to say who is better, but they both have pros, both have cons. I don't think Aaron Murray's height's any disadvantage to him. I do think Aaron Murray had struggled against top-tier programs, but that definitely changed. My opinion on that definitely changed after the SEC championship game because they're 5 yards away from beating us. But I mean, in big games, the advantage I think goes to AJ, even though because he's proven it throughout his career. He did play probably one of his worst games against Georgia, but still, I don't know, man. It's really hard. I'll give them a tie because they both have pros and cons and different things that are good about them and everything. So I'm gonna go with the tie. They're both best two quarterbacks in the SEC returning next year, aside from Manziel, obviously. Also, he asked another question: what do you think of this past year's SEC championship game? He says, what do you think of this past year's SEC championship tagline? Will the tide turn for Georgia, or will the tide roll for Alabama? Nice vids, by the way. Thank you very much. Like I said, it was a back and forth game, man, and we ran the ball very well. But Aaron Murray definitely impressed me. Like I said, I thought he wasn't going to have a good game because of the way that he's played against top tier programs. He really struggled against good teams last year, especially teams with good defenses. But he really impressed me. He has a heck of an arm. Todd Gurley was better than I expected. He fared better against our defensive line or linebackers than I ever would have expected. But like I said, Georgia was 5 yards away from winning. They just ran out of time. Even though I do believe still that was an interception by Robert Lester. But I mean, it's over. It was a back and forth game, but I'm just glad that we overcame that and ended up winning the national championship. Because I'm wholeheartedly believe if Georgia would have won that game, they would have played just as well as we did against Georgia. I mean, against Notre Dame. Sorry. The Hen 1998 says, thanks for answering my question. What do you think of the Dallas Cowboys getting rid of Rob Ryan? That really didn't make any sense to me because under Rob Ryan, the Cowboys' defense actually was a little bit better. And whatever team gets Rob Ryan, I mean, even though the guy is such a weird man, he's scary to look at. He's still a really great defensive mind. I mean, at points I can understand firing him, and I think it would actually make more sense to fire Jason Witten if they're going to fire anybody. I don't really agree with it, but what I disagree the most with is firing Rob Ryan and hiring Monte Kiffin. That makes that move look very stupid. I mean, if you got a guy that was a respectable defensive coordinator, yeah, okay, you had a better hire. But Monte Kiffin is definitely a downgrade from Rob Ryan because Monte Kiffin's defense at USC was god awful, and I don't know why he was attractive to the Cowboys because he's just getting old. He's not a good. Well, obviously his defense at USC was bad. So what would make you want to hire a pretty good D coordinator, or fire a pretty good D coordinator, Rob Ryan, and want to hire Monte Kiffin, who struggled in college? So that made no sense to me, but it is what it is. Leo Smith, what do you think about the too much trees getting poisoned? Oh man, I think actually they announced that they're going to remove them. I'm not sure if they're going to replace them, but I do know that they're actually going to remove them soon in the spring, I believe. So that's terrible. I mean, it's terrible impression on our fan base to other fan bases because just ignorant, stupid, redneck Harvey Updike. I promise the people that say the whole entire fan base is redneck. That's 99%. I mean, that's 1% of our fan base. If you go to a game, everybody will tell you that our fans are respectable, they're nice, intelligent, and the ones that are like that are the ones that are just stupid and us fans wish they weren't a part of our fan base, because it does make us look bad. But trust me, that's only one, maybe 2% of our fan base, and this is a bad thing that happened. I wish it would have never happened, because it's a great tradition. I hate seeing traditions get destroyed, and hopefully they will replace the trees, and that tradition will be able to continue on. Razorback 1995 asked, did you cry of happiness when Alabama won the national championship? No, but I did about cry when we lost to Georgia. I'm kidding. I almost cried, but man, I was, oh man, like, I think I've said this before in my videos. Before the LSU game, we beat teams so bad that the game started to get a little bit boring. You forgot what it meant to actually have fun or be really interested in the game while you're watching it, because we're winning by 3 touchdowns every time you look at the score before the LSU game. That game made my heart go crazy. The A&M game made my heart break. And then the SEC championship game made me die and come back to life, because that was insane. But during the national championship game, it just goes back to games before the LSU game when we were winning the whole entire game. So, I mean, it wasn't this one big spark of happiness. I mean, I was happy throughout the whole entire game. I mean, of course, because we won the national championship, but there wasn't ever a moment where I was really just came off an emotional high, because we were obviously the better team from the end, start to the beginning. So, I mean, start to the end. So, no, I did not cry of happiness, but I was happy throughout the whole entire game. Gumball85 asked, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial and least favorite? My favorite one was, sorry, I got a text here. My favorite commercial was the Tide commercial. I thought it was really funny how they got what was it, Joe Montana or John Elway stain on the shirt, and then he gets famous for it, and then the woman washes it. I thought that was very funny. And least favorite was the GoDaddy one, where the model and the nerd bad guy made out, because that was just very awkward commercial to watch. And luckily, I was watching the game downstairs with my family. I came upstairs and the game was on my TV when I saw it, because I was doing something up in my room real fast, and I saw it. So I was very glad I was upstairs when that came on rather than downstairs, because that would have been very, very awkward to watch that with my family. So I feel for anybody out there my age who had to watch it with their family, because that must have been very awkward. But that was definitely my least favorite. Man, it's hard to talk for this long. I bet you, let's say, 14 minutes in so far. 17. Gosh dang. Drew and Caitlin ask, what do you think of Matt Ryan as a QB, and how do you think the Colts and Redskins will do next year? Matt Ryan, man, I think he's very underrated. I'm not sure if he should be considered an elite quarterback, but he's very talented, has a great arm. I think he's not as good as he's going to be. I mean, give him 3 or 4 years, he might be an elite quarterback. But he definitely improved this year to win a playoff game and lead a comeback. I mean, I know they choked the game away and then came back at the end, but I mean, that takes a lot of guts, a lot of heart to actually do that after you think you lost the game. And he's a very talented quarterback. I believe he'll continue to be a top 10, maybe top 5 quarterback in the next few years. So I just believe overall he's a really good quarterback. And Colts and Redskins, as long as they have Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin, and throughout the drafts, they continue to add talent around them little by little, I think they'll be able to improve and eventually go farther on in the playoffs. Because, I mean, obviously in the first year, they're good enough to make the playoffs. But, I mean, the more they improve every year and year out, they're definitely going to improve. They're that good. And they're adding more talent. So they're definitely, I believe, going to improve. How much? That's the question, but I do think they improve. Extreme Geek for Life. Did you enjoy Beyonce's halftime performance at the Super Bowl? I believe any guy that is straight definitely enjoyed that performance, because, gosh, I did not really believe or realize how beautiful she was before that. So, yes, I did, and if you did not, it's safe to say that there's something wrong with you. Razorback 1995 asks, have you ever been in a fight and did you win? Actually, I've never been in a fight, never really saw the purpose in getting in a fight other than it just proves your immaturity. And I've never really been in trouble at school, never wanted to be in trouble in school because I want to have a successful future. So No, never been in a fight. Never really wanted to fight anybody. I mean, outside of school, I mean, I've got mad at people, but never really actually wanted to punch them in the face. Well, actually, I've had one punch people in the face, but never actually went to do it. So, never been in a fight. BJ Rich 93 out ask, out of curiosity, what kind of sandwich were you eating in the best National Signing Day commitment video? Also, I hope it was good. That's funny, man. I was eating a bologna and cheese sandwich, and it was good. So that's another little advertisement there in my video. So go please watch it if you haven't already. Just go to my channel and it'll be my featured video. And like I said, I'll probably link it in the comment section below. And yeah. Gumball85 also asked, where was your signing day video, and were there actually people there, and where did you get the awesome sandwich idea? The National Signing Day video was it was actually at my church, and they have a gym with basketball court and everything, and I was trying my best to get the shot with the basketball goal in the background so it looked more professional, but the way the camera was set up and everything and the focus on it, it was best just to have it that distance away from my face, so I really couldn't, and I had to have it that close to the wall because the sound system only plugged in, didn't have a big cord in it. We didn't have an extension cord around, so that's why I was that close. But don't even know why I said that. But were there actually people there? No, it was just me, and yeah, it was just me. That was fake clapping in the background if you didn't notice. And where did you get the awesome sandwich idea? I don't really know. One day at school, I was talking about some things with my friend, and that just popped up. Well, and I said the idea to a bunch of people, and they thought it was really funny. So I was originally gonna do it in my school gym, and I thought about this in November or October. I thought about this a long time ago, and I thought it would have been more appropriate to do it actually on signing day. Well, I actually recorded it last week or earlier in the Monday. I recorded it Monday. I just wanted to wait to do it on Wednesday. We'll upload it on Wednesday, and I was going to do it in my school library. I think I just said gym, but my school library, but I thought it would be a lot easier and less complicated if I just did it there. I do it all myself, so yep. Sorry, roll AJ roll. Who's your favorite player out of FA? Free agency? I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't really know because you don't really know who's gonna be a free agent or not. But I know Joe Flacco is supposed to be a free agent. So is Wes Welker. I mean, the contract's up, but they'll likely sign. But one of those two. Hold on 1 second. Whoa. Sorry, did not mean to hit that. Somebody just came in. I didn't want to ruin the video. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry. It says, disregard that comment. Who is your favorite player out of Alabama's class this year? Man, probably talent-wise, Reuben Foster, definitely. I believe he's gonna be an All-American, and I believe people think too much about his personal problems and forget how good of a player he is on the field. So I think he could definitely fight for playing time as soon as he steps on campus. And he also asked, what do you think of this class? Who will have the biggest impact next year, and who has the most potential? I just think I touched on that. Reuben Foster, I believe, has the most potential, and who will have the biggest impact next year? Oh man, I think we need a big bruiser running back, so I do believe Derrick Henry gets a lot of touches, and maybe Jonathan Allen, a very good defensive end, and we lose a few guys in the D line, but I don't think we'll necessarily I don't see anybody in this class that can really start day one and impact immediately because our depth, we have such crazy amount of depth on our whole entire team at every single position as of right now. But I mean, you might see a few guys play, not really start, but play at times in certain packages. So I don't think there's a one impact player like we had Amari Cooper or TJ Yeldon this year. But I mean, you could see a bunch of guys actually have an impact. So possibly Jonathan Allen because he's a very good D lineman. And like I said, Reuben Foster has a chance to as well. And can't really think of Leon Brown. He is a lineman JUCO, and we don't necessarily ever take JUCOs unless we know for a fact they'll start right away. Just about every single JUCO that we've signed since Nick Saban's been here has started the next year. So there's a guy right there, junior college. He'll probably play tackle or guard, and he obviously is very talented, or we wouldn't get him. I really look at his film, but judging from the past, Nick Saban, the way he recruits JUCO guys, he'll probably start year one. And sorry, I think I have another text message, but last question, and Dan Martin says the Walter Judson group is a scam. Because he commented on my last video and was saying something I never heard before, and it kind of seemed like a scam. I didn't really say it was, and I think I offended. I didn't really mean to offend you. I really didn't. It was just random, and I was kind of confused. And he says, the Walter Judson's group a scam. Darn, that's saying blind people. That's like saying blind people are evil. I canceled the help report. My bad. My final question to you. Parentheses. I'm leaving your channel. Where do you think Alex Smith and Mark Sanchez will wind up for the 2013 season? Dan. Bye. First of all, hopefully you don't actually leave my channel because I didn't mean to offend you. I just was really confused and didn't understand what that was. And it seemed just random, so I didn't mean to offend you. Sorry, hopefully you will stay on my channel and didn't mean to make you mad. And where do you think Alex Smith and Mark Sanchez will wind up for the 2013 season? I believe Mark Sanchez will stay in New York. I don't think they'll trade him. And Alex Smith, I believe a team like maybe the Jaguars, the Chiefs end up trading for him. So I think more than likely it'll be the Chiefs, because I don't think they're going to want to spend their first draft pick on a quarterback out of this draft class, because terrible draft class for the quarterback position anyway. So I think most likely destination for Alex Smith is the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think it's pretty much a known fact that Alex Smith is going to be traded. But like I said, I don't think Mark Sanchez is going to be traded. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hope you enjoyed, and please leave a question in the comment section below, and I'll answer that next week. So see you guys later, and if you haven't watched my National Signing Day video, please go do that. It's on my channel, so go watch it. So have a great day. Roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. I will see you later.